Hello folks and welcome to another live streaming Thursday. Yes, I know it's Saturday, so it's not Thursday, which of course makes complete and utter sense. Yeah, sorry I didn't do it on Thursday, but here we are on Saturday, and why not? It's April Fool's Day, of course, and yeah, I was kind of hoping that the American public would finally admit that the fact they voted for Trump was in fact a big April Fool.
Hell, it was all a big joke, everybody. In fact, these aren't even my real hands. This isn't my real hair. Hell, I'm not even American.
But they haven't. So we're stuck with it. So today we're going to do an unboxing, some more stuff from our friends at Boning, as you can see there. I haven't opened it yet, so we'll do that in a bit. I've got one or two things to talk about first. Now, it's a nice hot day, so if you hear birds in the background, I'm not having a party. It's actual real birds, because I've got the windows open. Now, as one or two of you probably remember from previous live streaming and other videos that I've done, I've got a bad back. Well, actually, it turns out it's a bad hip. Yeah, lost the use of one of my legs for a temporarily. That's now come back, and a lot of the pain is now starting to subside, thankfully. But that has made me think, and excuse the mess on the table. Well, it's not mess. I'm working. I've been making some more medieval arrows. But being injured has made me think a lot about injury and injury in archery. Now, a lot of us have been shooting for a long time and kind of are blasé about archery. Not a lot of people think about sport in quite the same way as they do about archery. It often gets called a game, much in the same way as darts gets referred to as a game or snooker. People seem to forget that archery is very much a physical sport, and injuries can occur the same as they can in any other game. Sadly, and this is no insult to anybody in particular, it is just the way of things. Archery, perhaps much in the same way as golf, does have a lot of people who perhaps aren't 18 anymore in it. More's the pity. Archery doesn't seem to necessarily attract young people, though of course there are young people involved in it. I was young myself once. I started at the age of 4.5, so yes, there are young people involved, but quite a lot tend to be of an age where injury can sadly happen more often and can also last a lot longer. The recovery from it can be, well, fraught, and injuries more damaging as you get older. So what are the ways of avoiding it? Now, we kind of covered some of this before. Being overbowed is one of the major culprits of people being injured. Now, what is being overbowed? Well, it's pretty much as it sounds. It's the bow that you've got is far overweight. It's far too much weight than you can manage. A lot of these things come down to the advice you were given when you purchased the bow, or lack of advice is probably more pertinent. Usually if you join a club, you're able to use equipment that the club may have, work your way up, and you can start with something that's slightly lower in weight and you can work your way up. There's also a slight culture change in archery where it used to be far more important that style, achieving better scores were the aim, excuse the pun, of archery. In fact, other similar sports like golf, like darts. But now there is a culture of who's got a bigger bow? And I say bow in inverted commas, which can cause a problem. And that isn't just, say, the reenactment world or the heavy bow world. Obviously, if you're shooting heavy bows, the whole point is that you are trying to move up in weight incrementally, so that you're shooting a weight of bow which is more akin to the medieval type bows. So the culture has also shifted into target archery as well. There are one or two reasons for this. Again, as I say, the whole thing that people just wanting a bigger bow, a better bow than somebody else. But also, again, it's that advice thing. If people aren't achieving a certain distance or even a certain score or a certain grouping, there is a bit of a subculture of sort of, oh, well, you want a heavier bow. Because I think there's some disparity between heavy and speed and cast, the actual trajectory, the flat trajectory that you'll get out of a longbow. A lot of people move into longbow, give it a go, and actually don't find it suits them because there is a lot of arcing involved. A longbow inherently is not a fast or a particularly efficient or necessarily accurate type of bow. There are a lot better, faster bows that will move the arrow a lot flatter than the longbow does. So of course some people get fed up with it and will move into flat bow or all the modern equipment that's out there. So there are those sorts of things to watch out for. But I say we've mentioned that sort of thing in other videos before. Really what I wanted to talk about was recovery and how you deal with injury afterwards. As I say, I've been injured now. It must be, I don't know, probably getting on for 2 months that I've been injured. Now, for those of you who don't know, I used to be an acrobat. I used to work in circuses. I used to do a lot of stilt walking. I was very, very physical and very, very fit at one time. Those were the days. Not so much anymore. I still go to the gym every day. I still keep physically fit. And that is something that I would strongly advise to anybody. You've got no experience of injury, or you've never been laid off from work before, I don't know, with a broken leg or any sort of injury. If you've never had that before, or certainly nothing serious that's prevented you from doing the sport that you want to do, then understanding what recovery is about is very, very important, and taking the correct advice is very, very important. I'm not saying that I'm an expert in all things physical and how to recover, but as I say, I've had a few injuries. Now, with archery, a lot of the injuries that we see can be wrist, elbow, shoulder, and back. Of course, your back, a lot of people suffer from back problems. The main reasons you're seeing those sorts of injuries, again, is because of being overbowed, but also technique. I'm not going to go into the whole thing of technique. That's another video for another day, as I say. But the recovering from that starts with, for a start, understanding why you were injured. Is it because you were overbowed? Is the bow that you're using far too heavy for you and inappropriate for you and your physicality? Are you at an age where perhaps you've been shooting for an awful long time? You've been shooting for 40 years and you're now getting into your 60s, your 70s, and you're still continuing to shoot. Are you still using the same bow that you used when you were in your 40s? And should you consider dropping down in weight? Now, a lot of the best archers, the people that I used to shoot with a long time ago, people like Bert Smith, I mean, he shot progressively lighter and lighter and lighter bows, but was still beating everybody else. Shooting is about being able to shoot. It's not about shooting the heaviest thing that you can possibly draw, certainly for target shooting and field shooting, which is really what I'm talking about here. It's about being able to use the damn thing that you bought. Now, buying the right thing in the first place obviously is where to start. But if you're using something and you're finding that you aren't getting that enjoyment out of it, you're finding that after a few hours you're exhausted, or you are getting minor niggling injuries, then it's time to think about moving to a bow that is more appropriate for you to use. But if you find yourself like in the position that I'm in, that you're injured and you've got an injury, a significant injury, then yes, it can take months of recovery. My mum, for instance, Lindsay, she had a hip operation. Well, obviously that took her out of archery for a long time, and then sadly she fell and she actually fractured, I believe it was a wrist. She's probably going to tell me off now because I can't remember exactly what it was, wrist or an elbow. Now obviously again that set her back again, but she was very, very sensible. My mother's an experienced archer. She's been doing this for an awful long time, and because we have access to other bows, she was able to start with what we call a jelly bow, which is the old style sort of flat bows, the very thin plastic bows that you probably see in an archery club, that we probably have, that you're perhaps able to get hold of, and start a scratch from there and actually build yourself back up rather than trying to struggle with a very heavyweight bow. It really, really isn't worth it. And depending on the type of injury that you've got, it really can take months. Obviously, recovering from a break or a fracture, you need to take your consultant's word. You need to listen to what they say, listen to the recovery time that they advise, and stick to it. And when you return to archery, return to it very slowly. You don't have to go out and do a feater round straight away. You can just plonk a few arrows in the back garden and see how you do. But again, everybody's different. You're going to need to gauge this yourself. But for crying out loud, be careful. You don't want to turn an injury into a permanent injury so that you end up being unable to shoot ever again. It's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for your family. It can affect your work. I mean, my injury has affected my work. I haven't been able to make bows very easily. I've been having to do other things, which is fine. I'm able to do other things. I mean, luckily I haven't injured my arms. If I injured my arms, I wouldn't be able to do anything. So have a good think about what it is that you're doing. Are you silently suffering with a bow which isn't appropriate for you? And have you got an injury where you think, oh, where am I getting this from? Well, could it be the archery? Ask around. Plenty of other people have had these problems, and plenty of other people will be able to give you advice, perhaps be able to look at your style. Some people, it can be just from simple as not using the correct tab, i.e. they're hurting their fingers, to the more serious where you're actually wrenching a shoulder and damaging muscles and all sorts of other things. But anyway, there you go. I'm whittering on, and hopefully that's advice that's of some use, and I just really want people to take care. As I say, it's something that I've been thinking about a lot. A lot of the times when we see bows of ours, or just anyone's, on the second-hand market, it's often because people have overestimated the weight of bow that they want. So there's a lot to be said for choosing the correct bow in the first place, and choosing the sort of bow that is really appropriate to you and what you're doing now and the stage that you're at. Hopefully that's of some use. Now, yeah, unboxing. Here we go. I don't know what's in this one. It should be interesting. It's usually interesting. Oh, I have to give a caveat though, of course, because of the way YouTube works, because I'm going to put this on YouTube. I know it's live streaming, but I'm also going to put it on YouTube. So hello those of you who are watching on YouTube. If you want to join us on Facebook where we do these live streams, I do ask people to give me ideas of what you want to talk about, what you want to see, so feel free to join us on Facebook. And those of us who are watching on Facebook, if you haven't joined us on YouTube, then join me on YouTube, which you can do. Just type Richard Head Longbows into YouTube and you'll find our channel. So yeah, let's have a look. Now the caveat that I have to give is I am not in any way being sponsored by the company that is written on it here. I'm just simply opening it. I've been sent it, it's a free sample. I haven't paid for it, they aren't paying me to do this. Okay, Mr. YouTube? God, so annoying to have got to do that. But anyway, there we go. Oh yeah, those of you asking how did I hurt myself? Well, I was doing some gardening. See, simple as that. I was lifting a boulder, massive small stone, and my hip went.
This is the actual stone. See?
So there you go. Don't do it. Don't lift things. Ooh, I don't know what those are. I think do they go on? Maybe they go on the arrows. Are they stickers? Someone out there know. Are they stickers? Is that what those are? I think they are. What else have we got in here? Ooh, boning grit guard. Boning grit guard. Grit guard, everybody. A nice tub of grit guard. Bowstring wax. I see. Guards from grit. Non-tacky. It's not tacky at all. Its directions start with a clean string by removing any dirt and old wax. Lower sides of applicator box to desired height. What? Apply wax liberally to the bowstring fibres. Rub wax into fibres briskly using fingers or a leather strip. Non-tacky? How does that work? Oh, I see. Right. Okay. God damn it. Ah. Ooh. I don't understand it. Oh, I see. It's got a slidey. Oh, there's a slidey thing. So you can slide this end, and then I think you push it out. So it's like a chapstick. It's like a giant chapstick. How cool is that? Yes, that's ingenious. Oh, does that? Oh, that one moves. Oh, look at that. There we are. That's quite clever. Yeah, that's quite clever. Where's my string? There we go. Hey, look at that. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, well, it works. Smells nice. Don't know what it's made of. White. Can that be really beeswax? Can't be beeswax, can it? Very synthetic or something. I don't know. What does it say? No, it doesn't actually say. Oh, I don't know. Wax. Wax. Anyway, next. What else have we got in here? Oh, brilliant. Some glue. Fletch fuse. Oh, Boning, you really do have the best names. Fletch fuse. You see that? Fletch fuse. Fletch fuse. Warning. Harmful if swallowed. Skin, eye, respiratory irritant. Keep out of reach of children. Crikey. Wow, I daren't open it. Oh, I can't. Oh, well. I'll work that one out later on. Ooh. Deflector arm guard. Again, Boning, you surpass yourself with these names. Deflector arm guard. Was that make it yet non-tacky? Well, apparently it says it's non-tacky. Yeah, it says non-tacky. Yeah, non-tacky. Non-tacky. I don't know if you can read that. Non-tacky. Non-tacky. Deflector. I have to try the deflector arm guard. Oh, it's just my colour. Oh yeah, check it out. Manly pink. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm going to look good in this. How does this work? Oh, it's got little push buttons. Oh, that's very neat. Liking your work, Mr. Boning. Look at that. Wow. Oh, that's sexy. Sexy pink. Oh yeah. That is brilliant. What else have we got? Oh, I think that's it. Oh, it's a list of what we've got. Oh, those are Visi wraps. Boning logo Visi wraps. 3 sets of 12 highly reflective decal wraps. Oh, that's those. Fits arrows up to standard diameter. Great way to find your arrows in poor light conditions when I go out night shooting. Looks like a fruit lolly roll up before you took it out of the wrapper. Yeah, it does, Jeff, actually. It does look like a fruit roll up. I'm going to lick it and see if it tastes anything like one. No, it doesn't taste anything like one. Oh, don't taste them. Oh, don't taste them. Oh, wow, excellent. Oh, grit guard, non-tacky. That's brilliant. Oh, I see. And I see the one on there. Blue. No, they knew I'd like the pink one, so I've got pink. Excellent. Well, there we go, chaps. Well, that's all. That's all the excitement for today. That's quite a good haul. That's quite good. Fletch fuse, my non-tacky grit guard, and me. Where'd those go? And me glow in the dark. Well, not glow in the dark, but reflective things. They don't really reflect very well in here because it's light in here anyway. I'm going to try these at night, and I'll let you know how I get on with those. And yeah, don't lick your deflector because it's what's that, Jeff? What a saucy soldier. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a saucy soldier keeping it real for the pink army. So yeah, on that note, I'll see you later, guys, and be careful. I mean it. If you're injured, get some good advice. And if you're not injured, but you feel like you're injuring yourself, or what you're using is too much for you, for crying out loud, do something about it. Injury is not fun. It really isn't. See you again, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, all that other groovy stuff. It really helps. Thank you. See you again.